Well, we are a little more than 48 hours away from SU's Sweet 16 matchup with Houston. We figured what better way to preview the opponent than by bringing on a familiar face who has experience covering both of these programs. Our former News Channel 9 colleague Sal Maneen, who now works at Fox 26 in Houston. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Steve, cue up LL. I'm surprised you don't have him ready to go. Don't call it a comeback. Orange Nation's here again.
It is. They got the team back together, the band back together. All right, so you've seen Houston up close and personal all season long. They're 26-3. They played a little bit of a lesser conference than the ACC, but how good is this Cougars team?
Steve, they're the real deal. I've told you before, they remind me so much of some of the better Syracuse teams that we've seen in the past few years in terms of how tough they play you defensively. They remind me a lot of that 2010 Orange team, the Wes Johnson year. Obviously, Wes was an All-American and a future first-round draft pick, but that team was so good defensively and so tough. You had to bring it every single night to beat the Orange, and that's just how this Houston team, 1 through 5 on the floor, every single one of these guys guards hard, and they all crash the glass. I definitely think, despite playing in the American Athletic Conference and obviously not facing the likes of Florida State and Virginia on a week-in, week-out basis, this is still a very good Houston team that is going to give the Orange a game.
Yeah, the Cougars have their version of Wes Johnson, right? Quentin Grimes, who's going to be an NBA draft pick. Tell us a little bit about his skill set and what he brings to the table.
He's a do-it-everything kind of guard. I mean, he's a big, bulky guy, a lot like Brandon Trish in terms of you're not going to push him out of the way if he gets a head of steam and gets going downhill. And he can also shoot the ball. He's been the Cougs' best three-point shooter this year, obviously an All-American, Conference Player of the Year. He was a former McDonald's All-American, started his career at Kansas where he started every game as a true freshman for Bill Self, tested the NBA waters, decided he wanted to return to college, ended up transferring back to his hometown of Houston, and has just ratcheted up his play since he got to U of H. And he's going to be just one of the many shooters that the Orange Zone is going to have to make sure they press out on.
All right, Sal, quickly, I got to ask for your prediction. Who wins Saturday and why?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be played in the 50s. Maybe it gets to the low 60s. I do think it's going to be a close game throughout, and honestly, it's a pick-em. I could see this going either way, and neither outcome would shock me. I guess I would have to give the edge to Houston only because of their ability to do it all year long, but more importantly for everybody up there in Central New York, as you remember, anytime I picked the Orange to do well, it typically didn't happen. And you knew me as the perpetual pessimist. Every time I said, oh, SU doesn't have a chance, they're going to lose, they would end up shocking everyone and going on a run like they did in 2016. So for the benefit of everybody up there at CNY, I'll say that Houston wins because I'm usually wrong.
So you're just doing your part. We appreciate that. Great to see you, Sal. Thanks for coming on.